Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello to you and welcome back to the channel where you joined me today at Novitec. Now every visit here is loaded with surprises and today is no different. You're going to want to stay tuned. We have got a lot to see. We're going to get started checking this thing out, the 488 Spider N Largo. There are only 11 of them and that is easily the craziest 488 you will see, and wait until you hear it. Believe me, that thing sounds good. Then we're going to take a look around Novitec's premises. So the storage units out there have some lovely Ferraris in them. Over here in the workshop behind me, we're going to take a look at the Dawn Overdose, a wide-body Rolls-Royce. Again, absolutely crazy. Then we'll also head into the showroom over that side, where we've got the new GTC4 Lusso package to have a look at, as well as a particularly nice F12 N Largo S. So there is tons going on here at the moment, very exciting. But let's get started taking a look at this one. Now, one of the things for me about the Ferrari 488 has been that the 3.9 litre twin-turbocharged V8 never properly sounded awesome. This car has new sport cats and a proper exhaust system, and in a moment we're going to start it and you're going to love the sound that the V8 makes. But first, just take a look around it. Novitec's N Largo packages are limited edition, extremely wide-body versions of the cars on which they're based. So this, for example, is 7 centimetres wider at the front axle and 14 centimeters wider at the rear. That is a serious wide body kit, and in fact the entire body, apart from a few panels that I'll point out, is completely made out of carbon fibre here by Novitec. So pretty much the only standard parts are, I think, the bonnet, the doors, the rear buttress, and the door mirrors and the windscreen surround. Everything else is all new. So the fenders, the front bumper, the splitter, the rear fenders, the bumper diffuser, the wing, and just take a look around it. This car's painted in Giallo Modena, which in the sun, the winter sun here, is looking spectacular. So you can see the new lower splitter that's been installed, the carbon end plate fins around the front. Coming around to the side, Novitec's 3-piece concave wheels, looking pretty cool. They're bigger wheels than the standard 21 inches we've got at the front. New skirts, you can see this wide body style with the louvres on the fender, but also this design down here that you see through the Novitec cars, just absolutely crazy. Even small parts they've installed, for example, the carbon fibre here on the mirror, and also just that small piece at the bottom of the A-pillar. Coming towards the back, new, more aggressive carbon parts on the intakes, the wider intake down at the bottom, the large 22-inch wheels at the rear, and then we come round to the back of this car where it is pure aggression, having the fixed wing on the top of the deck lid, nicely styled and designed. The carbon parts, again, they're familiar with around the rear tail lights and the tinting of the lights to go with that. And then down here, the aggression of the diffuser and these exhaust pipes, which have a rather loud system behind them. This car also has the N-tronic box, which means that power, get this, out of this thing, 772 horsepower, up from the standard 670, so over 100 horsepower up, but also 892 newton meters of torque, up from the standard 760, excuse me, so over 130 newton meters of more torque, along with over 100 horsepower. That makes this a very, very quick machine. It will go over 340 kilometers an hour. So just have a quick glimpse at the interior, given that the Spider roof is currently open. A very, very nice finish. The black mixing leather with Alcantara, the yellow piping. What a car. And there are only 11 of them, 11 GTBs, the coupe, 11 Spiders. I have to say, that looks incredible. It is time then to hear how this sounds. Goodness me! Wow. I would hear a 488 that sounds that good, and that's just the normal cold. Wow, wow. Woo-hoo. It makes you wonder why Ferrari didn't do that, right? Wow, that was phenomenal. One more thing. So while it's running, listen to this with the exhaust valve. You can make it quiet if you want, so there's a valve controlled system. And that's more familiar with the normal sound that you'd get out of this car, or you can make it loud again. And you can hear the difference immediately. And there we we go. And if you're interested, doing the roof on a 488 Spider, the two parts open up over the top. Of course, those are the standard panels. They've had the stripes installed by Novitec, but it's the full wide body areas that are all the custom Novitec parts here, for example, around the back, out of carbon fibre. Next stop, the workshop. Now there's a lot to see in here. Behind this building is the parts storage, all of the wheels and other components. But that's the car that we're coming to see in a moment. So we have a Hurricane here with the rear spoiler and I think lowering springs. Obviously the 488 that we've been looking at has lowering springs. We will take this out in a moment. The one of 8 Dawn Overdose. Just look at the hips on that car. That's absurd. But while we walk up, a beautiful blue F12 TDF, I think a customer car that's being worked on. The full normal package for a 488. So as well as going for an N Largo, you can also have a more regular car with additional carbon fibre parts. So for example, the rear wing, skirts, wheels on this car, and some other components as well, like we've seen around the tail lights, for example. So multiple options for different customers. And then up here, there is a Performante. So I can only assume work in progress, development for the future. Watch that space. So let's get this Dawn outside and take a proper look at it. And there's the V12. So normally on a Rolls-Royce you wouldn't hear much at all. So slightly louder system in this car, again with valve control, so it can be noisy or quiet depending how you want to have it. But let's head on outside and see the Dawn in this flat grey paint with the bright orange interior out in the daylight. It's such a nice car, very elegant, and in this case, made incredibly aggressive. It's funny hearing the murmur and rumbles of it, but we'll park it up and have a look around. The car is now parked in its lowest position, so it has adjustable suspension, of course, and it can sit up to 40 millimeters lower than the standard car. So you can see right now, it is sitting very low. That's a parking mode. It will raise, of course, when you drive. But like the 488, it has a new body made from carbon fibre, so parts like the front bumper that sits lower and more aggressive with these intake scoops. Also the fenders, obviously they're wider to take in this additional shape. Standard parts, you have the doors and the front bonnet and the windscreen and the door mirrors, those parts of the car. But again, at the rear, just look at how wide it is. 13 centimeters wider at the rear, 7 centimeters wider at the front. Around the back, new bumper as well, of course, and the exhaust system that we've heard. But this car from the V12 has 686 horsepower and 920 Newton meters of torque. This will go 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.6 seconds. Open top style in the Dawn. Just look at this interior. Feast your eyes over this. That is stunning. Incredible. So it might not have the latest tech, it might not be completely gadget orientated, but in there you have luxury, and out here you have exclusivity in terms of the styling. Wowzers. A random detail for you. So obviously on the front of Rolls-Royces you have this, the Spirit of Ecstasy. Now Novitec call their Rolls-Royce work SPOFEC, S-P-O-F-E-C. That is short for Spirit of Ecstasy. I think that's quite a nice little touch, very cool. So what do we have around here as well? We've got a Levante, Maserati, or Novitec Tridente. So you have Novitec Tridente, Novitec Rosso on the Ferraris. We've had a look at that car before. Then over here in the storage boxes, which I just think are the most awesome showroom elements you could have, there is their original Speciale demonstrator car that they have there, a historical livery 599 GTO, and similarly over the back there I can spot at least one 599 GTO on the left side, but customer cars that get stored through winter in these units that have solar panels and rotate to chase the sun to keep them powered. How cool is that? So let's say farewell to this car for now and head inside the showroom. I'm not gonna lie, I think the showroom lineup here right now is probably the best that I've ever seen, as I hear the noise of a Ferrari arriving. In fact, spin the camera around, that is definitely a Speciale coming up the hill there. What a sound. Tremendous, lovely colour as well. But I'm going to head inside here and take a look around and get started with the McLaren 570S Spider. Now I'm going to do a full piece as well talking about the parts, because this has literally only just launched. So I'll film with the 570S Spider and also with the 570S Coupe. So check that video out if it's already live. Be sure to stay tuned if it's not quite yet. Oh, that sound, what a machine pulling up there. Love it. So we've also got the Ferrari GTC4 Lusso package that's just launched, so the small cosmetic parts for that car. We'll take a look at those in a second. And over this side, we have the Aventador SV which looks awesome. And then the F12 N Largo S. So the first N Largo was based on the F12 Berlinetta. This car though, in that dark pearlescent red, is beautiful. What a stunning, stunning car. So just to have a quick look, let's start with the Aventador SV that we're looking at here, the coupe. So 600 coupes of the SV. Has a couple of parts, so we can see the new bonnet, the Novitec bonnet with this additional airflow through the car, carbon parts as well, of course, new side vents here, more aggressive on the side, with the slit through the middle, and a different carbon fibre rear wing on the back as well, slightly bigger and slightly more aggressive than the standard car. This is the full rebodied N Largo S, and it just looks monstrous. It's one of the best looking things that has basically, well, ever existed, I think. Look at this, just pure wide body, angry, aggressive, and mad in every possible way. And then if we swing back over this way, the GTC4 Lusso package. So literally brand new, sitting on new wheels, of course, with the tyre stripe I noticed around the outside. New carbon fibre parts down at the front, giving it a little bit more aggression down there at the bottom. New carbon side skirts around to the back. I notice also it has this carbon fibre lip on the wheel. So part carbon fibre wheels, which is always very nice. You've got the carbon lip spoiler at the back at the lower edge of the boot, and also right up on the top at the boot lid. And then down at the bottom, have a look at that exhaust pipe. Now this car makes an epic sound. This is Ferrari's V12, even more so, on more steroids. So the car has obviously the naturally aspirated V12. Power is up from 690 in the standard car, in the series car, to 709 in this, and a bit more torque to go along with that as well. So basically, this is, well, kind of my dream, this package on a Lusso. That would be awesome to have at some point in the future. So like I said, we're going to have a look at this in more detail shortly. So watch this space for that. And I mean, just right now, the colours, the cars, the red, yellow, white, grey and orange, the McLarens, the Ferraris, the Lamborghini. This is a lovely, lovely showroom display. Anyway, let's just quickly hear the startup of that Lusso. Yeah, not bad, right? That thing was monumental. So if you had to choose out of this entire lineup that we've looked at today, the 488 N Largo Spider, the Rolls-Royce Overdose, the cars in here, the F12 N Largo S, Aventador SV, how do you choose between these cars? The blue TDF was very nice, be interesting to see what's happening there, the purple Mante. This is an incredible lineup, and to be honest, I really quite like what Novitec do, whether it's complete extremities like this, going full on, maximizing the craziness of a vehicle, or whether it's something quite small. You know, actually look at the new wheels on this Aventador SV. Those are really quite nice, actually. I like that wheel design a lot. It's very Lamborghini, but unique, different, which is also very cool. And they're center locks as well in the middle. Or, you know, whether it's take the 570Ss, whether you have the carbon package with larger side scoops, the rear wing, which this car needs, and we'll talk more about that. This, lovely. Awesome, awesome. I love visiting Novitec, so I hope you've enjoyed this look, a first look at the 488, and some more detailed looks at the other cars that we've got in here as well. Just awesome times. Anyway, like I said, be sure to check out the 570S video, but that is it for this visit. Thank you very much, as always, for watching, guys, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.